Hello there, Fisaya here. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I talk about faith, lifestyle. I also review books of magazines. Hope you are doing well. Thank you for always stopping by to my channel, and thank you for watching, for liking, for subscribing. Just doing engaging, okay? Just doing the good things that would help my channel and be a blessing to other people. Yes, a lot of my fans have been asking for book review, so I did one last time. Make sure you go and watch it. I'm going to put a link in my bio or the first comment. Make sure you click on that video and watch it. I'm sure you will not remain the same, to be honest. And it's so special to me because it was written by my sister-in-law. So please rush over and watch the video and give it just show some love. Okay, so today I'm gonna be reviewing this book, The Art of Spending Money. This guy, Morgan Housel, also wrote another book called The Psychology of Money. That's what the page looks like. I mean, that's what the front cover of the book, of course, is the same black and green cover, kind of the same pattern. So go and read that book if you haven't. I haven't actually, but I've heard a lot of review about it. I've seen a lot of content creators talking about the book and how much it's been a blessing to them. I actually wanted to buy The Psychology of Money, but I found this in the bookshop and I was like, why not? Let's do this. And when I bought it, when I started reading, I'm like, hang on a minute, The Art of Spending Money. Is that what I actually wanted? And then I remembered it was The Psychology of Money that I actually had in mind. But because they look so similar, I took this. But of course, I didn't regret taking it. It's a very good book. It's not very thick, as you can see. That's all there is. It's divided into 21 chapters, and it's a book you read, you pause, you ponder before you pick it up again. So most of the days when I read like a chapter at a time, and then sometimes I manage to read one during the day. But of course, before I go to bed at night, I try to read another chapter, and that's how I've been able to read the book. Else you never find the time. You keep complaining. So at the beginning of every chapter, there's usually a kind of a more or less a quote. I don't know if I should say it's a quote or something, but it's just something to whet your appetite. So like in the chapter 4, it's talking about everything you don't see. And then it says happiness depends on so much more than income. So the money you get, happiness. If you're not a happy person, no matter how much money you get, you're still not going to be happy. It's not the money. Yes, money can cause you to be more happy or to be happier, but that's not what gives you the joy, the sincere joy and the sincere happiness that you require. It says there are 13 divorces among 10 richest men in the world. And I actually came across somebody saying something the other time. I've forgotten the name of this rich man. He said he is so happy that the wife he's had from the beginning of his journey is the same woman he still has up till now. So his wealth or riches hasn't changed anything. Is still the same woman. And for him, he said he counts himself as being very rich, because not many rich people can actually say that. Some of them have gone through a lot of divorces, and as you know, these things happen. You hear in the news a lot of marriages are collapsing. It could be money. Some people can't even find the reason. They just tell us irreconcilable reasons, But anyway, back to this book. It's just telling you the worth of money and how money should be spent. But I'm going to kind of summarize for you. I think you get the full juice, the full gist when you actually, invest in. Maybe you can get the audiobook. I personally like smelling books. I don't know. So I'm trying to venture into audiobooks. If you have any idea, please comment in the section below. My daughter actually sent me one, but for the life of me, I can't remember the name. She just said like, oh mommy, have you tried this one? So I didn't really pay attention to what she was saying. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try. I think somebody else also mentioned the audiobook, but I haven't explored it, partly because I just love, personally, I love books. I love holding them. I love smelling them. It's a bit weird, but I just love books. Anyway, so summarily, it says spend less than you make. We all know this. I mean, to be fair, when I finished reading the book, I closed it and I kind of meditated on some of the things I read, and I found that some of the things that this guy said, the Morgan man said, they're not really new. They are things we all know. Maybe if you have been following channels like maybe on minimalism or frugality, or even studying the Bible, the book of Proverbs on its own, it's a big chunk that tells you a lot about life, about living, about money, about expenses, about buying and selling. It's a whole thing. Maybe one day, if Christ tarries, and I am led in that direction, I will actually do a full-on study about that book, which you and I know. But somehow I think it's the doing that we find difficult. So maybe take cash to the shops. You take cash to the shops, and then you end up buying, maybe you have £20 in your account and in your hand, or $20 or 20, whatever denomination you spend in your country, and then you go to the shops, and then you find something really glittery and really cute, really nice, and you think it would fit your aesthetics, it will fit something that you really like, and then you're like, oh, I have my phone, I can do Apple Pay, that's it. So you end up spending more than the $20 or £20 or whatever you have in your mind to spend originally. So I think more than deciding, you also need a discipline. You also need to be able to say, this is where I stand, I'm not going beyond this. I'm going to be like, go with the shopping list. And I know people say go with the shopping list, but sometimes even with the shopping list, if you want to be very honest with yourself, you've ticked everything on your shopping list. If you're not very disciplined, believe me, you will find a packet of biscuit for 70p or 70 pence or something, and then you end up taking it. Or you find something that really cute, or you suddenly remember it's somebody's birthday, or this is going to be a nice present, and you end up going over and above your shopping list. So I think beyond just reading and knowing, like in your head, it's also the act of doing, the act of being disciplined, and also being, maybe having an accountability partner, maybe your husband, if your husband is very good at money saving, because not all men are, or your wife, if your wife is very good, because of course, again, not all women are. And or if you know somebody that can keep you accountable, that's going to help you, to stay true to that amount of money, that okay, this is my budget. I mean, even with the budgeting, to be honest, when you don't have enough money in your hands, you don't think about budgeting, you just think about survival. You want to survive, you want to thrive, you want to be able to cook the next meal without going next door to beg for food. So I think over and beyond this, it's just you working on yourself. Books are good, podcasts, interviews, listening to all of these things, they are fantastic. But beyond that, it all starts from you. So the next point is quietly compound. Nobody needs to, to know about what is happening. They say wealth is very quiet. A lot of people that have a lot of money, apart from those that want to show off, not many of them want to show off. But some might want to show off just to say, like, I have so much money. But a lot of other people that have a better understanding, they're not into maybe flashy cars. I have a big, expensive house, that sort of thing. They just live a quiet life. You don't know how much charity work they do, because they don't want to be, they want to be anonymous. I remember one of my old school I worked in, and there was this person that was always, giving us money. And we tried finding, tried looking at the signature, like thousands of, I don't want to mention the currency, thousands of that currency. And of course, we as workers, we just enjoy sharing the money. But one of the days we tried to find who is this person, believe me, we couldn't find. We tried the signature, we tried, the person just gonna post the check into our school then, and then we I mean, till I left there, we couldn't find who the person was. That person's anonymous, and I'm talking about thousands of this amount of currency. So it just goes to show, if somebody can do that like every month, the person has a lot in his or her account. Okay, and this person must be very wealthy, but we didn't find the person. We don't know who the person is. Okay, I'm just trying to say that wealth does not always shout. It doesn't always say, oh, look at me, fancy holiday, hello, or all of those things, but more to do with mindset. You know, money serves you and not the other way around. Don't be a slave to money. Okay, don't let people use money to bait you. Don't let them see that money is a weakness of yours. God will supply all your needs. Yes, God will use people for you, but don't be a slave to those people or the money they're giving to you. Okay? No one is thinking about you as much as you are. Nobody. I mean, if you buy a new car, yes, fancy, oh, you're trying to impress your neighbor. People are like, oh, like, nice car. But apart from that, who cares? Yeah, they just see your car down the road. Oh, it's for my neighbor, and that's it. The joy, the excitement is usually the first few days of the car driving. Some people maybe a bit more, but after that you're thinking, oh, it looks like nobody's looking at me anymore. I'm not impressing people anymore, and as a result, I am going to maybe get another car. Okay, so nobody really cares that much. I mean, loved one would care, but nobody is going to be too excited about what you have, you know, unless they want to worship you. They want to, you know, sing your praises and say, oh, this guy has a lot of money, I'm going to connect myself to him. Health is wealth. The greatest wealth you can invest in yourself is being healthy. And aim to be a good ancestor. You know, this was the one that really stood out for me. Like I said, by God's grace, I read a lot of books, and listen to podcast videos and a lot about money, finances, minimalism, and all of those things. I'm just curious, you know, about them, like homeschooling, going to school education, what is education about, the psychology of education, so many things. I like to read wide, okay? But with this caught my attention, that trying to be a good ancestor, somebody that your children's children will look down maybe many years to come, even if you're no more, they're going to say, wow, that used to be my great grandmother. Somebody they will be proud of, somebody that they will be able to showcase that, hello, this is my great grandmother, this is my great grandfather. And that's something that really stood out for me in this book, something that I have not really, I mean, I'm thinking about it, but it's not something that really stands out on a daily basis. I just want to live my life, you know, be a good mom to my children, be there, you know, as much as I can. But I haven't thought about being a good ancestor, in the sense of being a good ancestor, if you get what I mean. And love your family. At the end of the day, it's down to your family. Things are going to spiral, things are going to go out of hand once you step out of the house. But once you come home to a loving, caring, responsible, reasonable family, you feel at peace within yourself. And yeah, so those are the really things that I would say. But of course, like I said again, is such a good book. Honestly, if you're struggling with spending habits, if you don't know where to start from, I recommend the book, and it is just going to help you, you know, have a good perspective. But if you're very good with money, you know how to manage money very well, then it will just help you, like encourage you the more that yes, you're doing the right thing. And whenever I'm reading a book, there's so many things that comes to mind, but most of the things that come to mind is when I read a book, I have a checklist somewhere in my brain that, am I doing this? Yes. I'm not. And then if I'm not, then I try to think of, how can I make this better? What else do I need to do to make this better? And that's how I read. That's how I enjoy the book. And that's how I learn lessons. Like this whole book, most of the things is recommended are the things I already know and partly do. but being a good ancestor, that stuck out to me. Okay, so don't forget to get the book if you can, and if you can't, I think there should be audio version. I don't know, like I said, I love smelling my own books, but it's highly recommended. I will try and get The Psychology of Money. If I'll try and see if I want to really buy it, because I would like to explore other authors. But if I think it's really a priority for me, then I will go for it. But that's the book, The Art of Spending Money. Don't spend everything you owe, and don't spend everything that gets to your hand. Remember, every money, every penny, every whatever denomination dollar that gets into your hand, you know, it's meant for, you know, not just for you, also for other people. It's not just your own, it's not in your own place to just have them, to hoard them. More. As much as good is good for us to have more money, of course it's good, but at the end of the day, remember that the resources that God places in your hand is not just for you or for your family. It's meant to be a blessing to other people as well. If this video has been a blessing to you, why not consider liking, subscribing, and of course comment down below. Have you read this book? Would you be reading it? What is your take on what is something that stood out for you more in this book? All right, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Until I see you in the next one, remember to keep going, to keep moving, and don't stop.